Sony PlayStation 2 will be the biggest thing to come along since TV was invented. The buzz on this product is that strong.
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2. Newest, fastest video game system ever.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Frank. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and like this video. If you haven't seen my video about my top 10 PS4 games of all time, go check that out. The link will be right above me. And this list is probably one of the hardest lists I could ever come up with because I've had so many games I loved over the years. Now, me playing these games at a very young age, I didn't experience GTA San Andreas, Resident Evil 4, which was one of the scariest games at the time, Metal Gear Solid being a fan favorite. I didn't get to play all these games being so young. I played games for the ages 13 and under, but these games are really good and I can't wait to show you guys how creative my list is. It's like no other that you're going to find on YouTube. This list is going to be very interesting. There may be games that you've always wanted to see on the list, or you may give me some hate in the comments because some of these games you wouldn't expect to be on a top 10 list. And just bear with me, it's my opinion. This is what I played when I was from the age of 4 to 10. Let's get started. So number 10 is Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat. Now this is a movie-based game. The house is destroyed and you have to go into each room and fix the house. You play as Cat in the Hat, and by the end of the game you have to defeat the boss. Who's the boss?
Few moments later. 2,000 years later. One eternity later.
Coming in at number 9 is The Incredibles. This game is also a movie-based video game. So what I remember about this game the most is that you can do many missions, like defeating all your enemies. For certain missions, you had to use certain characters for their powers. Coming in at number 8 is MLB 2K5. This game was great because I love the Yankees and they had their own mode where you could play as the Yankees in a full season mode. Yes, you could do that still, but at the time, it was my first baseball game. There's not much to say about these games because it's basically exhibition and a season mode kind of game. What I also love about this game is that it's not by the show, it's by MLB 2K, which isn't a thing anymore. Now it's MLB The Show 1920. Now you guys might be like, what the f, Frank? But my number 7 pick is Thrillville. Now, I was just a little kid watching TV at the age of 5, and this commercial came on in 2006, and it was for this roller coaster adventure game that I had no idea about. You got to walk around an amusement park, create whatever you wanted, playing cheerleading, which, no.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
My favorite minigame is Event Horizon or Sauce of Sumo. Okay. Coming in at number 6 is SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Growing up, I had a wrestling addiction. I couldn't stop watching it. I used to wrestle all my friends. So my favorite part about this game was that you did the road to WrestleMania. You could choose any wrestler and take them all the way in their path to defeating Undertaker at the road to WrestleMania. If you're a wrestling fan, you could do anything you imagine. Any type of show you watch, WrestleMania, Royal Man Rumble, One Man Standing, steel cages, you could do whatever you want. Any wrestler from those years though. It was just a great game and I think that was the best wrestling game that I've played. I don't like the ones that come out today. Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, The Undertaker. Coming in at number 5 is Crash Bandicoot,
The Wrath of Cortex.
The second Crash Bandicoot game ever made in 2001. Now I talked a lot about Crash during my PS4 video, so if you want to go see that, check it out. Crash is one of my favorite PlayStation characters of all time. The game is very hard. I had a lot of fun growing up with this game. I played it around the age of 5 and it's one of my favorite characters in PlayStation history. Coming in at number 4 is The Simpsons Hit and Run. I don't even care that GTA 3 and 4 and San Andreas was out. This game was crazy. It's probably the hardest game on this list. And at the time, YouTube wasn't much of a thing around the 2000s, so you couldn't really look up how to beat missions. The first mission in this game, you have to hit the guy's car before he reaches the school. That mission gave me anxiety. Sometimes it's fun to not even do the missions and just get in trouble by the cops and they chase you all around. I'll give you a hint at my number 3.
Hola, soy Pablo. Me gusta mucho el béisbol.
My number 3 choice is Backyard Baseball. One of my favorite games of all time. I played this game when I was very young, but I loved baseball, and this was the perfect game. They had the actual baseball teams or just random teams with fake names that you could use these characters on. There was also a season, but just playing exhibition with your friends was just one of the most fun things I've ever done. Now we're down to our top 2. This is where it gets interesting. And you're not going to expect my number 1. My number 2 goes to SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. What I loved about this game is that they used the areas in the TV show like Goo Lagoon, Rock Bottom, the Krusty Krab, Jellyfish Fields. It was just like the TV show. All the characters. You play SpongeBob, Sandy, Patrick. It was just a lot of fun. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom will always be one of my favorite games. It's crazy to think about how the graphics were so bad at the time, but we didn't care because of how much fun we were having. We never realized. But these games were amazing. And now, here are some honorable mentions. So one of my honorable mentions I just rediscovered about 2 hours ago. I totally forgot about this game. It's NBA 09 The Inside. What I loved about this game was there was a life mode where you basically, it was like a My Career before that ever existed with 2K. I loved this. You get to make a guy and go through a life with all cutscenes and playing against NBA players. It was just awesome, and this game was pretty cool at the time, but it didn't make the list. Another honorable mention, Spider-Man 2 for the PS2. And jumping from building to building. The game was awesome, but just didn't make the cut. Now, this is my last honorable mention, but this is the game I wanted to make the list, but there were just better games. It's the Polar Express. So it would play you a scene from the movie, and then you get to go in and play the scene that it's showing. So the Christmas scene, which is my favorite scene in the movie, I got to play that part. It had the train, the tickets, the food fights. That's gonna wrap up the honorable mentions. Now we're gonna get to my number 1 pick that nobody will guess. And I guarantee you, nobody will guess. If you did, leave it in the comments. I don't believe you anyway. My number 1 game ever on the PlayStation 2 is Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights.
Laura Ruby snack.
Now before you leave, because you're pissed off, this game was insane. My mom was severely addicted to this game. Funny story, while my mom was playing this game with her eyes glued to the screen, I had cracked my head open right next to her, but since she was so into this game, she didn't even know that this happened. You have to go through all the monsters leading up to the mastermind at the end of the game. This game was so hard, it's not just a kid game. Like if you picked it up today and didn't use YouTube, you would struggle. So in 2004, when we were playing this game, my mom never finished it. She was playing the mission before the last, and she thought it was too hard. So 10 years later, we beat the game with my mom, and she was very happy. Like she never experienced it. She was shocked. She said, "How do you beat this mission?" And we used YouTube, of course, but they didn't have that back then. No, but in all seriousness, go play this game. You will love it. I know there's many great games, but this was the one that I had the most fun on. So that's gonna wrap it up. That's my 10 favorite PS2 games of all time. Let me know what your favorite game was on the PlayStation 2 in the comments below. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Coronavirus!
Peace. My hands aren't in it, right? Another honorable mention is Family Guy. Last one.
In 2004.
Hey! Your mind.
Okay, next one.
The better games.
It's one I love playing with my father.
My dad. Turn on the bell for notifications. What I remember most about this game was going to McDonald's and they had the game in McDonald's. They did, remember?
Wait, okay.
Okay. Favorite because everybody. My mini golf is probably my favorite.